Hi friends, welcome to Magic Mustache Math. I am Miss Cosmos, and right now we're going to be working on topic 10.1, Guided Practice, on page 465 of your math books. So on page 465, for number 1, explain why 8 times 3/4 is the same as adding 3/4 plus 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 3/4. Okay, so all of that is the same as 8 times 3/4 just because repeated addition. Multiplication is the same as repeated addition. I don't think we want to repeat addition this many times. That's a lot. But that's why it's the same thing. It's just repeated addition to multiply. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these, which is the same thing as timesing 3/4 by 8. Number 2, 2 times 3/5. Shade the model to help solve. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts, and 3 of them are shaded, 1, 2, 3, and I have 2 of them. So here's another 5 equal parts, and 3 of them will be shaded. Now, if we were using this model to help us solve, what I would do is I would take away 2 of these parts and add them to the top one here to make a whole. So now this equals 1, and then because we don't have these 2 anymore, we use them up here. There's just 1 left, so then this becomes 1/5. And then when we put these together into a mixed number, we get 1 and 1/5. Okay, come on over to number 3. I'm going to use a piece of paper because I like to work out my problems and there's not quite enough space here. So, for number 3, find 3 times 2/3 using repeated addition. So, all I need to do in order to find this using repeated addition is add 2/3 3 times. So 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. Now, if we're adding we know that our denominators are the same, so that's just going to stay the same. And then we just add across the top. 2 plus 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus another 2 is 6. So we end up with 6/3. Or if we are making sure that this is not an improper fraction, that the number on the top is not larger than the number on the bottom, we've got to pull out our wholes to find our final answer. So we know that it has to be 3/3 because the number on the bottom is a 3. So if we take out a whole and we subtract 6 minus 3, we get 3/3, and here is 1 more whole. So we end up with 2 wholes. 1 plus 1 is 2. So our answer is 2, found by using repeated addition. Number 4. Find 12 times 5/6 using the associative property. Okay, you're going to have to follow along with me because this is going to get messy. 12 times 5/6 using the associative property. So, we're going to drop down our 12. So now we have 12 times. Now we look at our fraction. The number on the top is 5. We basically want to pull out that 5 and make this a unit fraction of 1/6. The way we would do that is we would have 5 times 1/6. 5 1/6 is equal to 5/6. So now this is our new equation. We have parentheses around our 5 times 1/6, and our 12 times is outside. Associative property says that we can multiply in any order we choose and still get the same answer. So now we have 12 times 5. We're going to take these parentheses and we are going to move them over. So now the parentheses are around the 12 times 5 and our 1/6 is outside. Parentheses mean that that's what we do first. So 12 times 5, if you're really good with your math facts, you already know the answer. If you're not, like Miss Cosmos, I'm going to come down here and work this out. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the carried 1 is 6. So my answer is 60. So 12 times 5 is 60, and then I have to drop down the rest of my equation. So times 1/6. So 60 times 1/6. And remember our super secret way to do this? We're just going to put this over 1 and then multiply across. So 60 times 1 is 60. 1 times 6 is 6. Now we have, if you're really good, you look at this and you know that there are 10 sixes in 60 because 10 times 6 equals 60. Or you could read this up and down as 60 divided by, it's almost like our little divided by symbol, 60 divided by 6. And so you could bring it over here, 60 divided by 6. If you already know what that is, you can write down your answer. If not, you can work it out using standard algorithm. So 6 goes into a 6 one time. 6 times 1 is 6. When we subtract 6 from 6 is 0. We drop down the 0. 6 will go into these zeros 0 times. 0 times 6 is 0. And when we subtract, we get 0. We have no numbers left. So we are done, and our answer is 10. If you need to, pause the video for a moment, go back through, and look at all of the steps. Look at what we have done to get to our answer. When you're ready, come back, and we will move on to number 6. So for this one, they just want us to do the same thing, but they have the little boxes for you. So we have 16 times 3/8. We know that we're going to have to make this a 1/8, so we just have to find out what we multiplied it by to make it 3/8, and the answer is 3. Now, again, I don't know what 16 times 3 is, so I'm going to work it out up here. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3. 48. So they want 48 in this box, so that we end up with 48 times 1/8. Now, if we're doing our super secret method, I'm going to put this over a 1, and then I know what I need to put in over here. So multiply straight across. 48 times 1 is 48, and 1 times 8 is 8. Now, I know that if I have 48 over 8, I know that I can pull out at least 5 wholes because I know that 8 times 5 is 40. So if I pull out 40 eighths, that's going to give me 5 wholes. And then I'm going to subtract. 48 minus 40 is 8 eighths. I have one more whole, I'm going to now add these together. 5 plus 1 is 6, which is what you put here. All right, we are going to do one more. We're going to do number 8. Number 8 is 7 times 5/12. Now, if we're doing our super secret method, we're going to put this over a 1. And then we're going to multiply straight across. 7 times 5 is 35. 1 times 12 is 12. Now, how can we figure out how many holes there are? Because just looking at 35 and 12, my brain doesn't automatically go to a fact family or anything that I recognize. So I'm just going to go the highest that I can with 12 to pull out that number of holes. I know that 2 times 12 is 24, so I'm going to go with that. 24 over 12 is 2 holes, and then I just subtract. Okay, and I'm gonna come down here because I want to make sure that I do this math right. 35 minus 24. And this is just off to the side, just like little scratch notes for me to know that I'm doing the math correctly. You don't always want to do it in your head. Even if you think you know it, check your work. So 5 minus 4 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 1, and so that leaves me with an 11, and my denominator or number on the bottom stays the same. Now, because this number is smaller than the number on the bottom, this remains a fraction. So it just stays a fraction. I add it to the holes that I already have, and my answer is 2 11/12. And that's all for today, friends. Go ahead and take a picture and upload it to Canvas if you need to. And thank you for joining me for Magic Mustache Math. I'll see you next time.